What's going on, everybody? Yeah. This is Dr. Chris Featherstone for yet another episode of Sportskeeda UnSKripted. It is Tuesday night. You know what that means. I have some of the biggest, the baddest, the best wrestlers of today and yesteryear, and tonight is no different. I don't know what happened there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Are we back on board? All right, tonight we're going to have a very, very, very fun show as we do always. We got the questions rolling already, ready to go. This person is a buddy of mine and just a pleasant guy, man. Just a super, super pleasant guy. He is a former WWE World Tag Team Champion, and he's a former OVW Heavyweight Champion, managed by a mutual buddy, Lisa Marie Verone, better known as, formerly known as Victoria Terra. We talked him up last week, and she put him over heavily last week. Well deserved, because this guy is just an absolute pro in the business. So without further ado, OVW worker now. He's very, very instrumental in the development of talent in Ohio Valley Wrestling now. So I want to give this guy an opportunity to plug away all things OVW. He is the champ. He is the man. Doug Basham, how are you tonight, man?
Hey, Chris, thanks for having me on, man, and I'll pay you later for those kind words, okay?
Hey, happy birthday, man. You got a birthday in a couple of days, right?
Brother, thank you. Yes, I do have a birthday coming up here Thursday, actually. And something else happens on Thursday night is our OVW live TV taping, so I'll be on my birthday, man. I'll be backstage just doing what we do at OVW.
Very nice, very nice. So the big 5-1, right?
Oh, 5-0. The big one.
5-0.
5-0. Yeah, you can't always read don't believe everything you read on the internet, man. I was born in 72. Seems 72. So long ago. Wow.
Wow, man. Congrats on 5-0, man.
Thank you, man.
Big.
I made it.
You made it, man. Good job.
My body feels 51. How about that?
I imagine, man. So all of you internet publishers, you heard it here. The guy was born in 1972. He was not born in 1971. So
that is correct.
Yes.
I think I saw that on Wikipedia too. They said I was 71 or born 71. I'm like, hey, man.
Yeah, don't add an extra year in my life. I don't need it.
Yeah. If you do, add it on the end.
Yes, indeed. Ready to dive into these questions?
Man, let's bring it.
All right. Let's start with let's see here. Burrito is always the good question. He's always ready to rock like 2 hours before, man. I love it. One of a loyal fan here to the show. Good evening from Puerto Rico. What is your Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestlers you have ever faced? And what wrestlers would you have wanted to face in the main roster that you never had a chance?
Man, that's a good question. Because I'm trying to think of who, when we were in the WWE, when we were the tag champions, we faced just pretty much everybody on the SmackDown roster. If I had a dream team that I would have loved to have faced, I would have loved to have faced Kane and Undertaker. You know, that'd have been a good one to have under your belt. So that answers that question. And because we actually did face when we were the ECW, when we were ECW and we were under those hoods as Paul Heyman's henchman, I guess, we got to work with DX, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H. So that mark that one off. And we got to work with Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. Check that one off. Probably if I could go back in history a little bit, it would have been great to face the Steiner brothers. So that would have been a good one. And then I think that would pretty much, there's my Mount Rushmore right there, man. Of tags that I would love to face.
Very nice.
Good question.
Indeed. He's also asking who pitched the idea of being the Secretary of Defense for JBL, and did you all I guess feel uncomfortable when you were all partnered up with Linda Miles? Shaniqua. Where's she at? I think we talked about her last time.
Yeah, we did. I think Linda she lives in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I think she has something to do. She's a basketball coach or a referee now. I believe that's going on. And I heard at one point that she was a police officer. But I don't know how true that was or not. Could you imagine getting pulled over by Linda Miles and walking out?
She's legit 6'2", right?
What's that?
She's legit about 6'2", right?
She was, I think, with just regular shoes on. She's 6'1". And because she played basketball at Rutgers. She was a star athlete, and she had some athletic ability. And then she was just a freak of nature, man. Her body, I was jealous. I'm like, man, I've got to work out harder if I'm gonna stand next to you, So, and I was always better of me and Danny. I was always the one that was in better shape of the two of us. But Linda, geez, she took it to a whole new level. I mean, she was a freak of nature, but nice lady, nice girl, good to work with. That was part of the question. What was the other part? Who came up with the idea? Secretaries of Defense. Well, you remember when me and Danny did the Tough Enough Challenge, the Tough Enough Flag Challenge, where I think it was Tough Enough 4. There was a flag in the corner, and the kids had to get by us to get the flag to win. Well, before that happened, a couple of other competitions that had the Big Show and Kurt Angle in it. They kind of, the $1 million guys kind of got embarrassed a little bit, because these kids were popping. Big Show was slamming them. The kids were popping up, and Big Show just wasn't slamming them hard enough. He should have threw him straight through the mat and tried to take him to the floor so they wouldn't have gotten up. But they did. They got up and kind of embarrassed. That was an embarrassing moment for him. And then Kurt Angle almost got tapped out by Daniel Puder. Mm-hmm. He got a key lock, but in Kurt's defense, he had a broken neck, and there was a nerve being pinched, and it was going down his arm. He only had about 50% strength in his left arm, and that's the one Daniel Puder got a hold of. If it wouldn't have been for that, Daniel Puder wouldn't have stood a chance. Because I've seen Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle kind of go at it in the ring in amateur wrestling style before a match one day, or before a TV one day, and that guy, he is legit. I mean, he's a gold medalist, legit. But he had that broken neck, had that nerve damage, and had half the strength in his arm. That's why Daniel Puder, got him in a key lock. But so then they decided to not put any of their big stars in there again to get embarrassed. So they picked me and Danny because we were kind of, at that moment, we were kind of sitting on the shelf waiting to be repackaged because we already had our run with as the Basham brothers with Shaniqua, and they sent her back down to OVW to get some more training, and then just had us coming in and doing enhancement matches and putting guys over, helping them advance their storylines. And then we represented the company and didn't let any of those kids, get the flag. They got closer and closer the farther down the line we went because, our arms and bodies were getting like jelly. It was like, I'm tired. By the time we got to Puder, we had all those big dudes, man. We had to stop all them big dudes. And, at that point in time in my career, my body was cosmetic. It was made for show, not for go. You know what I mean? But that put me and Danny to the test. And then after we represented the company, we stopped all the guys. JBL and Undertaker went to Vince McMahon and said, I think we need to reward those boys. They were put in jeopardy, and they held those kids off. So JBL had the idea. He had the cabinet. He had Orlando Jordan he was the chief of staff. Yeah, they had I can't remember her name. Amy Weber was like the forget what her title was. Yeah. And then JBL. So he just needed his secretaries of defense, which was me and Danny. So we were like the muscle, like the guards. His CIA agents, special agents, were protected. We were the crash test dummies, basically, for JBL is what we were. Yeah, for sure. but man, we made a lot of money doing it. So, and it was an advancement in my career, some of the best times of my life, and put us straight to the top, man, straight to the top, working with all the top guys. So loved it. So that is how the Secretaries of Defense came about.
Very nice. Aaron is asking, what are your memories of working with Jim Cornette in OVW? He talks highly of you on his podcast. The Basham brothers were a great tag team during my favorite era of SmackDown.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Chris, one of the things I love to do about these podcasts, especially coming on your show, the question and answers, man, I get to meet some people who are fans of wrestling and also fans of the Basham brothers. We had quite a few, but it's always good to get to meet, talk to them, and answer questions from them. So thanks for having me on for that. And my time in OVW with Jim Cornette was some of the greatest, most entertaining, most educational time, because that guy is a brainiac. I mean, he is just a pure genius when it comes to booking TVs, writing TVs, promos. I mean, a guy can do cut promo for a day and not even take a breath. And then he educated us or taught us how to do that as well when we were in the developmental system, because when I was in the OVW, I was under developmental contract, and Jimmy and was the booker. Danny was, Danny, my uncle. And then we had Rip Rogers was our trainer at the time. So, having my time there with Jimmy, it was a learning experience, and I learned a lot. He taught us a lot. So I've got loads of respect for Jimmy, like him, love him, lump him too, whatever. Like him, love him, lump him. Nice. No, Jimmy, loads of respect for Jimmy. Love him, man.
Guillermo's asking, how was working with Los Guerreros?
It was a dream come true, basically. And working with Eddie and Chavo, Eddie, may he rest in peace, was just brilliant. I mean, what a mind he had. And he was just brilliant and entertaining. And then Chavo was just like so smooth and easy to work with in the ring as well. And I have an opportunity to work with those guys, not just work with them, but having them drop the titles to us on that one pay-per-view, that was just a dream come true to be able to have such a tag team with such a name and such family, wrestling history, being able to work with them and then having them putting us over and give them drop the titles to us. It was a dream come true. That's all I can say.
Nice.
A highlight, one of the highlights in my career.
Nice. How do you describe your first day training to be a pro wrestler?
My first day training, the first day I ever stepped foot into a wrestling ring, my uncle, he opened a wrestling school in Louisville, Kentucky, and he was wanting to get off the road because he was traveling with USWA and always on the road, and he wanted to stay home and be a family with his new wife, which was my aunt at the time. So he said he had this plan. He had about a 10-year plan, and the step one was to start training guys, and he called it the Nightmare Danny Davis School of Professional Wrestling. So that was a step one, and he had this little 16 by 16 foot ring in a sweat box of a building. I called it a broom closet. It was just big enough to put the ring in. Had a bathroom at one end and had a space in the front of the ring just big enough to put a desk in. And so I heard he had opened up the wrestling school. So I called my aunt and said, "Hey," and been a wrestling fan my whole life. I mean, I watched it religiously and was always wondering, how could a guy ever become a wrestler? I don't know how to do it. Lo and behold, here it is. I'm like, okay, he opens a wrestling school right here in Louisville. This has got to be fate. So I asked my aunt, said, "Danny would mind if I came to the wrestling school and checked it out?" And she said, "No, absolutely. Go ahead and go." So, and at that point in my life, I was going to school. I was going to Indiana University, and I was in the pre-med program. I was wanting to be a doctor, believe it or not. I really wasn't smart enough to be a doctor, but I was giving it a shot anyway. So one day, and I was working at a Jewish hospital here in Louisville, Kentucky, and I was working in the surgery center, and I was in the center right in the middle of all the operating rooms, and I was a gopher. If they're doing surgery, they'd call in, "Hey, we need suture." I'd run it to the room. Mm-hmm. So one day after, and I worked like from 6 a.m. until 2:00 in the afternoon. So I went after work one day. I went over to the school and checked it out, saw what it was all about, and he just said, "Hey, get in the ring. Just go get in the ring." I said, "All right." So I went to go get in the ring. He said, "No, hop over the top rope." I said, "All right." Jumped over, no problem. He goes, "All right, hit the ropes." He showed, he's first thing I did. I got in. I watched a little bit first of all. I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Yeah, watching everybody do it. And he said, "You think you can do that?" And he said, "I said, yeah." He goes, "Get in the ring." So I hopped over the top rope and tried to run the ropes a little bit, and about fell through them because I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? And then I picked up on things. I'm a fast learner, so I picked up on it pretty quick, and then was semi running the ropes. And then he goes, "Okay, how about?" And then they were hitting turnbuckles that day too, and he was training the guys how to hit the turnbuckle, and he showed me how to do it. And so I hit it horribly. I mean, horribly. Was killing myself, hitting it wrong, hitting it sideways. I had rope burns all on my side, my arms, and my back, and then the last thing he taught that day was how to fall on your back. Boom. The very first time I fell on my back, he said, "You squat down like you're, squat down like in a duck walk position." And he said, "You just kind of throw yourself back." Well, he forgot to tell me to keep my chin tucked. And I threw myself back. I hit my head, and I was like, "Ta-kong!" I was like, "Oh, I'm rattled." So he goes, "Oh yeah, keep your chin tucked." I'm like, "Now you tell me." So I went through all that the very first day, and then that was a Sunday. Come Monday, Chris, I could hardly move.
I imagine.
I was so sore. So that was my first ever in-ring experience with wrestling.
Wow. Now, Steve is asking, what do you think of AEW so far?
Oh man, I'm glad AEW's here because it's competition, and there's shows here in the United States. It's there's more than one place to go. I listen to. I don't get to catch it as much because I'm so busy with OVW, and I'll catch a little bit of it on YouTube. But I listen to Jim Cornette's podcast a lot, and he talks a lot about AEW, and he's he's obviously not the biggest fan. He's got a lot to say, but Jim Cornette's very opinionated,
Yeah.
and so sometimes when he talks about a match or something like that, I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch it. And I'm a big fan of CM Punk on AEW. I think he's having a lot of good matches, and he's doing some good work to help elevate some of these other guys. And then he's just a genius on the mic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good to see that
alumni.
Yes, an OVW alum, absolutely. A lot of greats came out of OVW.
Oh yeah.
But so I'm glad the AEW's around. I'll watch AEW, and I hope they just keep getting better and better and growing and become, which I think they are, kind of competition with WWE. So there's no monopoly in wrestling. There's more places to go, which is one of the reasons why I'm here at OVW. I also want to try and help, build the OVW brand. And that's why I came back in full circle. I started in OVW, went in my career, and come back to OVW. And, our show is on Thursday nights, and you can catch it on the Fight TV network from 7 to 9. And when you watch the show on the Fight TV network, anywhere, you can get the app on your phone, on your iPad, whatever. When you're watching it, it's happening live. So it's just like a Monday Night Raw, or
Nice.
is the Wednesday night AEW show shot live? Is it live?
Yes, Dynamite is.
Yeah, Dynamite. So it's like Dynamite. So OVW is live TV, and we have a lot of good stars on there that are being looked at by the bigger companies now. So watch OVW and catch them first.
Yes, indeed. Ricky's asking, how are you? What are your thoughts on today's tag teams?
I think the greatest tag team in the world right now is FTR. I am a huge fan of FTR, and they remind me a lot of the Andersons back in the day, the way they work. And those guys could make two broomsticks look good. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
They are just phenomenal. So when I want to watch tag team wrestling, I will definitely, I'll watch those guys, and whoever they work with. It does not matter who they're in the ring with. Yep. They elevate those guys and make them look good. So kudos to FTR, man. Big fan. I'm a huge fan.
Well said. Steve is asking, should the Basham brothers be in the WWE Hall of Fame for the next year, 2023? He meant to put 2023.
Oh, absolutely. We should have already been there, brother.
There you go. Very nice.
There you go. I love it.
Let's see what else we got here. Got more questions, and we're gonna let my man go. Get some rest. I know he's had a busy day.
It's been a long one.
Yes, indeed. Kenny, being a Canadian, my favorite was always Chris Benoit. Did you ever get to work with him closely? How was he backstage? And yep, that's it.
Oh yeah, buddy. I tell you what, just go on YouTube and YouTube Doug Basham versus Chris Benoit, or Chris Benoit versus Doug Basham, and you'll see about 2 or 3 matches on there, and I'll let you decide for yourself how it was to work with Chris Benoit. But as far as backstage goes, he was always quiet, intimidating, kind of, but super nice guy. He was a super nice guy. He was very, very professional. But man, when you got in the ring with him, it was a fight. I mean, he hit you hard, and he tried to beat you for real. How about that?
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was fun working with him. I loved it. I was a physical guy too, so I loved it.
Yep. It looks like recent is in Louisville, and so is this? Will he have an opportunity like in next tapings to be in a live audience or anything like that?
Absolutely, man. Every Thursday night we love having new people come to the arena. It's at 4400 Shepherdsville Road there in Louisville. Check it out. I think tickets are $8 or $10 or $5. I don't know what the tickets are. They're reasonable. Just don't buy a cup of coffee that day and use that money to come on in. And then come be a part of the live audience, man. And you'll see some good stuff, man. You may even see somebody on here there out on TV. See what happens. That'd be me.
Or me. I'm only let me see. I'm in Columbus.
Oh man, we'd love to have you at OVW, Chris. You should make an appearance sometime.
Let's bring it. Let's make
it. Whoa, easy there. Gun show.
Louisville. I've been to Louisville before. It's probably 4.5 hours from mine. It's not a bad drive from.
That's a walk in the park, bud. Walk in the park.
Not bad at all. I was just in Frankfurt a couple months ago. So
Frankfurt, Kentucky. That's only like about an hour away from Louisville.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna look now. Let me see. Columbus to Louisville. 3.5. Man, pick up 3:11.
3 hours. See, brother, bring it. 3-hour drive, man. Come down, enjoy the show.
It's probably shorter because I live in South. Like I live in it's okay. It's 3:25 from the suburb that I live at. So
only
about 3.5 hour drive.
3.5. That's easy, man. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Nothing at all. All right, man. You give me an itch, man.
Hey, come on down. Come on down. You'd be more than welcome. You be my guest.
Absolutely. I like that. Let's see a few more. Let's see. Try to find something that's questions from someone who hasn't asked yet. Jim Cornette. Cabinet. A little bit more into the cabinet. And then we'll end up. Cabinet. So working as members of the cabinet. How was it working with Amy? How was it working with Orlando, JBL? How was that?
It was fun. JBL was he was quite the character, and a lot of people don't know. Orlando was a funny guy too. He had a good sense of humor as well, and he always dressed nice and always smelled good, and his hair was always done perfect, and eyebrows were always done great, and he always had his skin was always real soft and smooth, and we'd always tease him about all that stuff. But he was quite a character, man, and he was a good guy to work with. Amy Weber, I really didn't have a lot of interaction with her. She really didn't have a lot of interaction with us. She just came around and walked through the segments and was out there with us and interacted there. But as far as hanging out with Amy Weber, we really didn't hang out with her that much. She kind of hung around with the divas. And JBL, what do I say about that character? Wow, he always called himself the tall hog of the trough, so I always called him Boss Hog, and funny, witty, smart, and because of him and Undertaker, Danny and I got that chance with the cabinet and had a really good run and made a lot of money and advanced our career. It was probably my best run in WWE was with the Cabinet, JBL, even more so than when we won the tag titles the first time. Very memorable.
Yep, good stuff. Was working with Taker pretty cool?
Oh man, let me tell you, memories. I got memories. I got to work with Undertaker. He gave me the last ride, and man, I tell you what. Have you ever had a dream where you're falling and you're like falling forever, and you wake up at the end?
Yeah, right.
When he picked me up and went to go send me down, man, I felt like I was falling in slow motion forever, ever. But man, working with Taker was. It's like you're in there with the Godfather, man. You're on the map. He put you. You're on the map now. So it was great.
Right. All right, my man. Once again, OV Dub Thursday Nights Fight TV. Give them where to find them on the socials. Give them the address if they want to come live. Let them know about OV Dub.
Well, OVW every Thursday night, guys. You can catch us on the Fight TV network, Fight TV app. On Thursday nights from 7 to 9, and that is live. You can come see us live, buy a ticket, like my boy, like my boy's going to
Reese,
like my boy Reese is going to. We'll see you tomorrow night because tomorrow's my birthday, brother. Nice. 4400 Shepherdsville Road, or you could just put it. If you just put it in Google Maps and you put Davis Arena, boom, it's on there. The historic Davis Arena. And if you want to find me on social media, I have a Facebook page, Doug Basham, and I'm also on Instagram, the Doug Basham. You can catch all my stuff there. I haven't posted much on that lately, but we have our summer tours about to start with OVW, so you can catch us live. You can go to ovwrestling.com and check out our schedule and see if we're going to be somewhere near you, and come see us live, because our live shows, they are a party. They are fun, and the guys really interact with the crowd. It's way better than WWE and AEW house shows. We'll call them house shows. These guys go out there, they work hard, they entertain the people, and they even entertain me. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm entertained, and I do it. They entertain me.
Exactly.
So
you getting a bunch of happy birthdays, and your boy Bolin just did a run-in. He's in the chat.
Oh yeah, Kenny Bolin.
Yeah,
I'll be daggone. Bolin Services is in the house.
Yes, indeed. Yep. You were talking about OVW, and OVW Hall of Famers entered the live chat, is what he said.
I'll be dang. Always put himself over. Well, somebody has to, because nobody else is going to, so he'll do it himself. Just joking.
Doug, it's been a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure talking to you, man. Always.
Yes, sir, Chris. Thank you. Anytime, man. Anytime.
Awesome. Have a good night.
We'll do, bud. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.